1958, Jerry Crew, working for a logging company, noticed the large tracks in the mud around his machinery and reported them to his colleagues, who had also seen similar, strange, large tracks in the area. Bigfoot coined, the Humboldt Times reported on the giant footprints in October 1958, which quickly caught the attention of national media. Columnist Andrew Genzoli is credited with popularizing the term Bigfoot for the creature. The casts. Crew made plaster casts of the tracks to prove their existence, which became the first iconic evidence of the modern Bigfoot legend. Few figures in American folklore have endured as much scrutiny, and shown as much quiet resilience, as Bob Gimlin, the cowboy horseman best known for his role in the 1967 filming of what many believe to be a real Sasquatch. Early life and background. Born in 1931, Bob Gimlin grew up in the American West with a deep love for horses, rodeo, and the outdoors. A skilled rider and traditional cowboy, he worked as a ranch hand and pursued rodeo riding in his younger years. Friends and family consistently described him as soft-spoken, honest, and grounded, traits that would later define how he handled decades of controversy. In October 1967, Gimlin accompanied his friend Roger Patterson on an expedition to Bluff Creek in Northern California. Patterson was interested in tracking reports of Sasquatch in the area. While riding horseback along a sandbar near the creek, the two men encountered and filmed a large, upright, hair-covered figure walking away from them. The short film they captured became known worldwide as the Patterson-Gimlin film. The film that changed everything. The footage, often referred to simply as the PG film, remains one of the most debated pieces of evidence in cryptozoology. Supporters argue the figure's muscle movement, proportions, and gait are difficult to replicate convincingly, even by modern standards. Critics maintain it was a man in a suit. For Gimlin, the encounter was not about fame. In fact, it brought the opposite. A life of ridicule and silence. In the years following the film's release, Gimlin faced significant ridicule. He was mocked publicly and privately, and the skepticism surrounding the footage affected his personal and professional life. Unlike Patterson, who died in 1972, Gimlin lived long enough to experience decades of criticism, doubt, and outright dismissal. For a long period, he chose to step away from the spotlight entirely. He rarely gave interviews and avoided the Bigfoot community. As a boy growing up in the Pacific Northwest, Jeff Meldrum was already a natural-born collector. He gathered snakes, small animals, bones, and artifacts with the curiosity of a young scientist in the making. But one moment in his childhood would quietly shape the course of his life. Around the age of 8, some classmates brought a newspaper advertisement to school announcing a special showing of the famous Patterson-Gimlin film, hosted by filmmaker Roger Patterson. Young Jeff persuaded his family to take him to the screening at the Spokane Arena. Sitting in the darkened arena, He watched in awe as the now iconic Bigfoot figure strode across the giant screen. The powerful, fluid gait of the creature captivated him. It wasn't just a monster movie moment for Jeff, it was a biomechanical mystery. Years later, Meldrum pursued formal studies in anthropology, eventually specializing in primate evolution and locomotion. During one trip with his brother, fate nudged him closer to the subject that had fascinated him since childhood. They made an unscheduled stop at the home of noted Bigfoot researcher Paul Freeman. Freeman had just discovered a series of large tracks impressed in virgin mud along receding snow lines. Meldrum examined them firsthand, and even cast several prints in plaster. For the young scholar, it was a pivotal experience, physical evidence he could measure, analyze, and compare. Meldrum went on to earn his PhD, and ultimately became a full professor, and one of the world's leading experts in hominid bipedal locomotion. His academic credentials gave him a unique platform from which to evaluate footprint evidence with scientific rigor. While controversial to some, his work bridged mainstream anthropology and the enduring mystery of Sasquatch. Until his passing in 2025, Jeff Meldrum remained steadfast in his commitment to scientific inquiry. From a boy collecting snakes and artifacts to a respected professor analyzing the mechanics of upright walking, Willow Creek, California, Bigfoot capital of the world. Tucked into the lush forests and winding rivers of Humboldt County, Northern California, lies the tiny town of Willow Creek, a place where the legend of Bigfoot isn't just folklore, it's local culture. With a population of roughly 1,700 people, this mountain community doubles as a playful tribute to the elusive creature that has captured imaginations for generations. Bigfoot lore and Native American roots. Long before the world dubbed it Bigfoot country, the forests around Willow Creek were part of the homelands of indigenous peoples such as the Tsnungwe, whose oral traditions include stories of large, mysterious forest beings. While modern Sasquatch lore largely stems from 20th century reports, including the famed Patterson-Gimlin film taken near nearby Bluff Creek, the region's deep connection to wilderness and myth continues to influence local storytelling and culture. Iconic murals and redwood carvings. One of the first things visitors notice is the celebration of Bigfoot in wood and paint. Along Highway 299, giant carved redwood Bigfoot statues and playful murals beckon travelers to stop for photos. Notably, the community building Bigfoot mural, painted by Humboldt artist Dwayne Flatmo, depicts Bigfoot working alongside early residents, pioneers, and even native peoples, blending the creature into the tapestry of local history in vibrant panoramic color. Nearby, a carved Bigfoot greets guests outside a gas station, while other sculptures and roadside art pepper the route through town, making every turn feel like part of a friendly cryptid scavenger hunt. Bigfoot-themed attractions. Willow Creek's affection for the Sasquatch legend shows up in its attractions. Bigfoot Motel, a kitschy lodging decorated in Squatch spirit, perfect for travelers seeking a themed stay amid the forest. Willow Creek China Flat Museum. This local history museum houses a famed Bigfoot collection, including casts, maps,